What's going on, YouTube? Paul Piper back here with yet another pipe tobacco review, and today we're going to be reviewing the legendary over-the-counter American Burley mixture, Carter Hall. Go ahead and get a look at the presentation here. And just like it looks very similar to Prince Albert. I don't really think that there's too much difference. There's a few additions on the Prince Albert verbiage on the back of the box, but as you can see here, you've got stately Carter Hall pictured there, an illustration in the center, and then it says, "What's to like about Carter Hall pipe tobacco? Taste, aroma, moistness, freshness, mildness, no bite, even burning, good price." And of course, it comes in the soft luxury pouch. And I'll go ahead and read the back here. It says, "Carter Hall pipe tobacco. Since 1856, we at John Middleton Company have dedicated our resources to producing one-of-a-kind quality pipe tobacco brands at affordable prices. Our commitment is to meet the personal smoking preferences of all our customers. The unique blend of Carter Hall pipe tobacco is achieved by adhering to the very high standards we set in every step of production. The attention and care paid to selecting and curing our tobacco equals that of blending and finishing. As a result, Middleton pipe tobacco brands provide superior consistency, ensuring your smoking pleasure every time. No-name products could compromise these tough standards, and that would reduce your smoking pleasure. Middleton pipe tobacco brands are your best assurance of quality and value." Oh, there you go. And again, manufactured by John Middleton Company in Limerick, Pennsylvania. So we'll go ahead and get the pipe loaded up here today. I've got a Riviera state pipe, Dr. Grabo, and it's a bent pipe there, smooth with the carvings on it, and this one comes with the yellow spade emblem. There's different colors, different times, different Grabo pipes. They would put different colors for the spades. So there's some websites you can read about that. But anyway, this comes in a 1.5 ounce box. So you got your particle paper, cardboard, whatever. And then it's wrapped in cellophane. So you go up here, grab the top, little strip there, and then it cuts off like that. You got a place for your thumb. Open that up, and out pops the luxury pouch. And again, you've got in the center of that Carter Hall pictured. These are actually pretty nice. I mean, they're not sealed with adhesive, but as far as the quality of a packaging goes, I prefer this to what Scandinavian Tobacco Group uses, with in Lane, that sort of thing, and their over-the-counter blends. I like these little pouches. They're actually pretty thick, and they'll fit in your pocket or your front pocket. Now this is a ribbon cut. Here's a look at the tobacco itself. Fairly light. As far as smell goes, it's a little bit different than Prince Albert. Prince Albert is its brother. They're both made by Middleton. They're both Burley based. Now the difference is this has some Virginia in it. And as far as the scent of the unlit tobacco, it's a little bit lighter in scent than Prince Albert. You get a scent of chocolate, molasses, but like I said, just a little bit toned down from what you get in Prince Albert. So let's go ahead, if you're at home, let's load up a pipe with me here, and we'll get it lit up. Now the thing with Carter Hall, I mean, it's readily available. Less so in recent years, I think. Middleton cut a lot of its blends out, unfortunately, and we lost some good ones. One of my favorites was Kentucky Club, and it's gone. But if I haven't said it already, this is a ribbon cut. Oh, all right. Get this thing loaded up. All right. Like I said, my initial impression of Carter Hall, and it's not my initial impression, I've smoked quite a bit of this because it's just really good. You get the nuttiness of the Burley. You get a little bit of grassiness from the Virginia, earthiness, and very light, almost some sort of alcohol, whether it be a bourbon or a rum or something like that. And if it's rum, there's just a hint of the spiciness to it. Very, very light. Almost unnoticeable. But it lights up quickly, I mean, and well, evenly. And, it's just one of those iconic blends. I mean, it stacks up with the likes of the premium blends, I think, very well. Oh, pick yourself up, Trump. Don't listen to the critics. Don't listen to the critics. What are we going to talk about today? Today we're going to talk about, I went bowling over the weekend, and I haven't been bowling in probably over a year. And it's something I always enjoyed doing. It's fun. I'm not that good. But you think of something as far as an activity that people used to do that they don't really do anymore. I mean, there's a lot of them. Bowling is one of them. You think of how popular bowling was to our parents' and grandparents' generation. I mean, back in the 50s and the 60s, I mean, everybody bowled. Everybody was in a league. If you were a man, woman, especially if you were a man, blue collar, working man. You went bowling, and you probably had your own ball and shoes, and it was just a regular event for you. And our American landscape is kind of dotted with a lot of these vestiges. I mean, your town probably has a bowling alley or two that are no longer operational. And we lost something with that. And I was thinking when I was sitting there waiting for my turn the other day, when I was a kid, I used to go to bowling alleys and other public areas, and people smoked. Restaurants, bars, bowling alleys, didn't matter. People smoked. Most of those people smoked cigarettes, but still, it didn't matter. And that kind of brings up what I want to really talk about, is the free market, capitalism, freedom of entrepreneurs to make their own decisions on what they allow inside their, premises or business, what they permit their patrons to do. And Ohio, like I said, I was born and raised in Ohio. Now I'm living in Michigan, but at the time, pretty much every state allowed it. I think New York and California, go figure, big time liberal states, big government states, they were the first to restrict it. And on private property, put restrictions on smoking. And the argument was, we can do this because it's protecting non-smokers, protecting their lungs and their health. So we're going to put a restriction on people from being able to harm them in public places. So that's what the basis of the restriction was. Well, that had larger implications and larger constitutional implications. Can the state say that they cannot, somebody that owns, an entrepreneur, a businessman, he owns this business. Let's take a restaurant, for example. He always historically has in the United States, the ability to say what goes on, whether or not people can smoke, whatever. The government says, no, you can't allow that in your business. Again, that's an overstep of government's boundaries. What should have happened, the free market, and how that would work out is, you have two restaurants side by side. The one allows smoking and the other one doesn't, because their owners made a business decision, to not allow it and to allow it. So you have a paying customer comes in, let's say to the restaurant that allows smoking. Let's say they don't like smoking. They're non-smokers. They want to go and enjoy their meal in peace without having the intrusion of smoke. So let's say that they go next door to that competitor that does not allow smoking, and that's where they patronize. That's who they give their business to. So they essentially voted with their wallet who they're going to give their business to. And, that's how these changes occur and should occur within a free society. You have the free market working and making these choices, not government saying and coming in and saying, you must do this or you must do that or not allow this. So I was very disappointed, when that law came into play in Ohio under the very big government, John Kasich. It's just not right. It's government overstepping its boundaries. So when I was at the bowling alley, I couldn't help but wonder, what it was like 15 years ago even. I don't know when Michigan implemented it, but it's probably about that. You had a lot of guys that would have been swamped. Everybody's there after work, bowling, having fun with each other, conversing. They're not living, vicariously through their electronic device or their online profile. Not to say, like I said, that's not bad. I mean, this is good too, but you have to have, you know, actual physical, personal, in-person relationships as well. And it's more and more difficult to do that in today's day and age. But no, you just think about that. How many of those guys were sitting there smoking their Dr. Graybos and lighting up some Carter Hall or Prince Albert, you know, back in the 60s, and, you know, smoke filling the bowling alley. And to me, that's freedom. You know, I know Indiana, I don't know if Indiana changed it. If you know, put it in the comments. But I went to Indiana probably, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago or 6 years ago. I'm not that far. I mean, I've been to Indiana since, but I went to this steak restaurant, and they still had a smoking section. People were still smoking, and it was just so weird. But to me, you know, it represented freedom. I said, that's great. I'm glad that you guys, you know, still believe in the individual businessman and woman to make their own decisions and not forcing, you know, the government on everybody. So, you know, and there is something to say about, you know, possibly secondhand smoke and all that stuff. I'm not trying to argue against that, but I'm just saying, like, if I don't like somewhere because it's too smoky, I'm going to leave. And that businessman can either care and say, I'm not going to allow smoking in my establishment, or I'm going to have a smoking section and a non-smoking section. I'm going to take money out and install ventilation, whatever it is. You know, that's the appropriate response, not government. So, anyway, that's kind of my soapbox for this video. Let's go back to Carter Hall. Again, this was $3.79, and, you know, it's even a little bit cheaper. I think Prince Albert, I bought them at the same time here just a couple days ago, bought brand new pouches. Prince Albert was like 20 cents more, you know. So stacked against each other, they're so close. They're so similar to me. I like them both a lot. I hope to be able to continue to smoke both on a regular basis. Hopefully they don't go anywhere, at least as long as I'm around. But, you know, I'm going to give Carter Hall an 8.5, just like I give Prince Albert. They're so very close to me, you know, and some people may be calling me a heretic right now, saying that, oh my gosh, you know, they're actually so different. Well, to me, they're very, very similar. So, whichever one you pick up, give them both a try, see what you think. But I know you're going to like both of them. Like I said, unless, of course, you're a pipe snob. In which case, I don't know about you. But anyway, thanks for all you folks who have been subscribing. I appreciate it. You know, I encourage you, if you haven't, to subscribe. Go ahead and, you know, hit like on this video and check out my other videos. I've been putting out quite a few of them here recently. You know, post a comment. Tell me your thoughts on Carter Hall, how it compares to Prince Albert. You know, do you know all the specifics about the differences in the colors of the spade on the Dr. Grayboe? You know, does your state still allow smoking in public areas, in restaurants and bars and bowling alleys and stuff like that? You know, where, if so, where do you live? It'd be kind of interesting to see if there's any of those that still persist. So, anyway, folks, it's been a pleasure like always. Check out my next video. I'll probably have another one here in the next day or so. And until then, it's been Paul Piper. Take care, folks.